Tag TV brings you daily news bulletin from India. Breaking news and views from India.
You're watching South Asia Newsline, and here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Tuesday, the 19th of September. India, Canada expelled diplomats over accusations New Delhi killed Khalistani terrorist. Activist exposes Pakistan at UN for mistreating minorities. And Ganesha celebrations begin across India. And now for all the details. In a tit-for-tat move, India on Tuesday expelled a top Canadian diplomat hours after Ottawa ordered expulsion of a senior Indian official from Canada following allegations by Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau of Indian government's involvement in the killing of Khalistani terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar. The Foreign Ministry said the decision reflected India's concern over Canadian diplomats' interference in internal matters and participation in anti-India activities. A designated terrorist, Nijjar, was shot dead outside a Gurudwara by unknown gunmen in June this year.
I think those claims are quite absurd. He's made a claim without evidence, and having made the claim, he's taken an action, i.e. to expel the Indian diplomat, etc. And now he wants us to cooperate with him. What is he saying? The whole thing sounds very absurd and illogical to me. And I mean, if you're in a normal relationship, this kind of thing happens, you consult your friendly neighbor, your friend, and say, look, this is what your fellows are doing. I think we need to look at it. And then you sort it out. But he's just decided something on it's apparently for his own domestic reasons.
And in a sharp worded statement, India's foreign ministry said such unsubstantiated allegations are being done to divert the focus from Khalistani terrorists under shelter in Canada. The inaction of Canadian government and expression of sympathy by Canadian political figures for Khalistani elements remains a matter of deep concern, the statement added. Well, on the second day of the ongoing special session of the Parliament, lawmakers bid farewell and stepped out from the old Parliament building into the new building on what Prime Minister Narendra Modi said was a historic day. The old British-era Parliament building will now be known as Samvidhan Sadan. Kickstarting the proceedings in Lok Sabha, the government introduced a key bill to reserve 1/3 seats in the lower house and state assemblies for women, reviving a proposal that has been hanging for decades. The announcement comes just 8 months before general elections, which are due next year.
देखिए, ये 30 साल का संघर्ष रहा है। हमारे संविधान ने वादा किया था इक्वालिटी का, पर इक्वालिटी महिलाओं के लिए नहीं दिखाई दी। आज बाबा साहेब अम्बेडकर जी ने वो कर दिखाया था हमारे संविधान में, जो बहुत सारे डेवलप नेशंस में, अमेरिका ने लड़ाई लड़ी है, महिलाओं ने लड़ाई लड़ी है, यूरोप की महिलाओं ने लड़ाई लड़ी है। हमें ये अधिकार मिले थे, पर उस अधिकारों से वंचित किया गया, इसलिए ये बिल आना ज़रूरी था।
Though the ruling BJP and opposition Congress have always supported the bill, opposition by other parties and demands from some for quota for backward classes within the women's quota have been key sticking points. The last concrete development of the issue was in 2010, but the bill lapsed as it could not be passed. An Indian security forces neutralized a top Lashkar commander along with another terrorist in Jammu and Kashmir's Anantnag on Tuesday as the encounter entered the 7th day. Talking to reporters, ADGP की Kashmir zone Vijay Kumar said security forces were able to recover weapons and lifeless bodies of 2 terrorists while a search operation was underway to locate the body of a suspected 3rd terrorist. The encounter had broken out in Kokarnag area of Anantnag based on intelligence inputs. 3 army officials, including the commanding officer of Rashtriya Rifles Unit, along with Deputy Superintendent of Jammu Kashmir Police, were among the fatalities of security forces in the 7-day-long gunfight.
टोटल हम लोगों के 203 का खबर था, हो सकता है तीसरा डेड बॉडी भी कहीं मिले, इसलिए सर्च पूरा कंप्लीट है। हुआ सर्च पूरा कंप्लीट करेंगे। अभी तक में उजेड़ खान एलईटी कमांडर का बॉडी मिल गया, उसको रिट्रीव भी कर लिया हम लोग। एक डेड बॉडी मिलिटेंट का और दिख रहा है।
Moving on, an activist exposed Pakistan's rights violations against minorities at the UN, highlighting recent vandalism of churches and persecution of Christians in fabricated blasphemy cases. A report.
Joseph Jason, a human rights activist, exposed Pakistan for mistreating its minority Christian community as he made an intervention during the UNHRC session in Geneva on Monday. Jason highlighted the recent vandalism of several churches and Christian houses in Faisalabad in August by a Muslim mob over blasphemy allegations. He said 2 Christian brothers were illegally arrested and many have been arbitrarily charged under the draconian blasphemy law and the National Security Act. He also claimed extremist group TLP led the campaign to implicate the minorities.
The Jubilee campaign expressed its dismay over the fabricated blasphemy accusations, pre-trial detention, unfair prosecutions, continuous threats, and deliberate incitement to violence against minorities, which have created a social distance from minorities in Pakistan, leaving them intimidated and relocated.
Pakistan has long been condemned internationally for discriminating against its religious minorities, which is manifested in various forms, including targeted violence, blasphemy accusations, abductions, curbs on practicing religion, and forced conversion to Islam.
Well, Sri Lankan President Ranil Wickremesinghe, who's in New York for the UN General Assembly, met World Bank President Ajay Banga and other top officials at the World Bank headquarters on Monday and discussed economic reforms, agriculture, tourism and digitization. Wickremesinghe expressed gratitude for the vital financial support provided by the lender that helped his country tide through the most difficult months. Banga commended Sri Lanka's commitment to reforms, emphasizing the importance of credibility. The island nation was hit by an unprecedented economic crisis in 2022 due to a severe paucity of foreign exchange reserves. Officials say it is now leaping back to recovery. Bangladesh Foreign Minister A.K. Abdul Momen on Monday said that the government has made a commitment that it would hold a free and fair election as the Election Commission has been given absolute authority in this regard. Momen made the remarks while giving details of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's engagements in New York. In recent months, the US and several other countries have raised questions over the election process in Bangladesh and accused PM Hasina's administration for cracking down on anti-government protest. The Bangladesh government has rejected the claims. Momen said Bangladesh has warm ties with the US and noted that a friend can give advice to another, and if the advice is objective, will definitely accept it. And grand celebrations of the 10-day-long Ganesha Chaturthi festival began across India on Tuesday. Take a look.
Hindu devotees across India on Tuesday began celebrations of the 10-day-long Ganesha Chaturthi festival, which commemorates the birth of the elephant-headed god, Lord Ganesha. Devotees took out processions and formed serpentine queues at temples since early morning to seek blessings of Lord Ganesha, who is considered the embodiment of wisdom and is widely revered as the removal of obstacles. Devotees also observed fast on the occasion for the well-being and prosperity of their families.
आज लाखों लोगों में उत्साह है, गणेश जी की तैयारी जोर से चालू है। आज आप देख रहे हैं बड़ा बहुत माहौल है। 4 दिनों से हम देख रहे हैं हर साल के ज़्यादा दुगनी चौगनी गर्दी अभी रास्ते में है।
During the festival, people buy decorated and colorful idols of Lord Ganesha and establish them in their homes for either 10 days or 1, 3 or 5 days and revel in religious pageantry. Elaborately decorated idols of the Hindu gods are also installed in marquees based on different themes, which are visited by people during the festival. An immersion ceremony known as Visarjan of the idols is performed in the last day, which signifies divine entities returning to their abodes after being the guest of the devotees.
Well, that's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.
Tag TV brings you daily news bulletin from India. Breaking news and views from India.